It's Sunday morning, April 4th, I think, 2021. Doing a little warm up here, a couple miles, and I'm meeting some friends to do some miles on the bike path and the trails. There's our skateboard park off to my left. And I've been listening to the Let's Run podcast talking about Fukuoka race being canceled. It's been going on for 75 years. And Kipchoge's attempt at a fast race isn't going to happen. It's been delayed. And then Bekele is probably not going to get on the Ethiopian team. So kind of a drag. But I actually slept sort of last night. Maybe this thing's going on. It's kind of over. I was awake quite a bit, but I did get in 4 or so hours. I've got to do 16 miles a day to get my 100-mile week. Be the second 100-mile week of the year. So it's going to be kind of a little tough, but hopefully I'll get about 10 in here right now and then sneak in another 6 somewhere. Maybe pop on the treadmill and do that. Kind of forgot it was Easter. Nah, I'm not really religious. Should have known that because God on Clubhouse was talking about Easter and people were asking about Easter. Of course, God on Clubhouse is Seth Rogen. I remember listening to a running podcast, can't remember what it was, but they were talking about running partners and how if you're going to get up in the morning and train, you can't send a text if you're going to bail on the workout. Hey, I got a call, so you actually have to interact. And it's probably a good policy. This morning I was supposed to meet a couple people, so I did 2 or 3 miles by myself, and as I was doing my first hour by myself, the text came rolling in that they weren't going to make it. It's no big deal for me. I mean, I'm going to still do the miles. I'm at mile 8. I'm going to try and do 10 now and 6 in the evening to get my 100-mile week. But, because I always have to remember that, I'm 58. I have a fairly easy life, basically kind of retired. People I train with are in their 30s and 40s, have careers, jobs, full-time jobs, that type of thing, family commitments, sometimes pet commitments. And so, weekends they're tired and just can't get out the door. They want to get out the door, but not necessarily will. So it's all good. Speaking of people who got out the door, I'll tag the video at the end here. Guy I see out here all the time. I see many people out all the time, but I've seen this gentleman walking on the bike path over by the ballpark, Samlin, that I've often walked by. And I've seen him, and you know what? Doesn't matter if it's hot, cold, raining, holidays, he's out there. And so it was just me and him on the bike path. Talked to him a little bit. I never really have, talked to him very much because I didn't want to bother him. But today I just said, hey, how you doing? And I was like, yeah, it's just me and you on the path. And he said, yeah. And he said, I'm out here every day. He's 80 years old. And he used to do 6 miles a day, but now he's doing 3. And he just leaves from his house over in Oildale, walks out in the back path, comes back every day. Real inspiring to see him and talk to him. And so I was really glad to see him. And now I would like to see the weasel out here, but I'm sure she's taking Easter off. I have my phone when I'm out training. I listen to podcasts a lot. So generally the first half of the workout I listen to podcasts, and then second half of the workout I listen to music. I used to listen to Spotify, but it drains a lot of battery, and I'm really enjoy EDM, and so I usually walk, run to Above and Beyond podcasts, 2 hours of great music, and then Paul Oakenfold does a really good job as well. Today I was listening to Let's Run, and they were talking about, their picks for the Olympic team and the 5K and the 10K and the distance events. But they also brought up, they have these Let's Run shirts, and they're offering prizes and stuff for people to run races and win races wearing their shirts. And that's kind of cool. But they brought up some email from some guy who, is like a barefoot runner. And I guess someone made news recently for running a barefoot half marathon on snow in like 1:45. And this guy's like, oh, I could do it in 1:30. But of course, there's no snow. So they're talking to the guy and these guys, a lot of people in the ultra world come up with this kind of stuff. They see the records, do the math, and go, oh, that's doable. I mean, I don't know how many times I have people think, they can do 500 or 600 in a 6 day or whatever. So Anyways, this guy's like telling them he's gonna break the world record barefoot at the Dome in the 100-mile race. And there's no way in the world he's gonna do it. I remember the name, but I can't remember the name, but I pretty much know everybody in the world. There's no way he's gonna beat Zach Bitter's record anyways. That just isn't happening. Yeah, I did a little half-ass internet research, and Andrew Snopes did 137 miles when I was at the Dome, which is amazing in a 24-hour race barefoot. I mean, man, my PR in a 48 is only 138. And he is just a beautiful runner, real small and light on his feet. And so for this guy to say he's going to go break a 100-mile record by Zach Bitter, which is like, 11 hours or something insane. Nah, it's not happening. But it's interesting. At least this guy, supposedly, a lot of these, I call them stunt runners. They always just do their own solo adventures, often hiding behind charities for it. And, so they never do any documentation instead of just showing up at a real race. So he's going to show up at the Dome, which is a totally legit race, obviously. Great timing and stuff. And that's what he said in his email to Let's Run. Well, when you check the list, I didn't see his name on the list. So I'm not sure when he's supposedly running, but he's not there yet. It's kind of like, Killian Jordan, of course, had a lot better chance of breaking Kuros's record because at least Killian's super talented and a known quantity. But this guy's not going to get anywhere near Zach Bitter's 100-mile record. Sorry about the glare on those, but sometimes an idea pops in my head and the lighting isn't in the right place. Just about done with this 10-miler. Means I've got 94 for the week. We'll get the last 6 in this afternoon. Definitely weary, but feeling pretty good this morning. I remember back in 2009 was the first time I truly tried to get to 100. That was when I was coaching at Bakersfield High in my distance project. And I remember how hard it was to finally get a 100-mile week and how beat up and trashed I was. And it was definitely an adventure. And then I rattled off a bunch of 100-mile weeks, 5,000-mile years from 2014 to 2018 or so. Of course, when you're doing 48-hour and 6-day races, it's kind of easy to average 100-mile weeks. So I don't recommend jumping from 60 to 70 to 100 like I just did, but I've done it. I've done the miles in the past, and you get the old muscle memory. And it's just something I need to kind of kickstart myself out of these doldrums. And then since I haven't been sleeping, why not as well train, because when you're up for 20 hours a day, you got a lot of time to kill. So pretty happy that I'm finally gonna pull this off. Taking Friday easy was a calculated risk because I thought I might just not be able to pull the miles off this weekend, but worked out in the end. And yesterday's 5K was my fastest walking one for anything from the 800 to the 10K. So it was good. It kind of gave me a lesson of even though I don't really want to run, I need to run because my technique holds me back in the walk. That getting under 15 pace, pretty difficult, but throwing a little bit of running, and you can move and cover a lot more ground and just get stuff done. So this coming week is going to be an easier week. Jack Daniels often says it's a 60% week. So whatever your top mileage was, you should do 60% of it. So 100, you should do 60 miles. So I'm definitely back off because I do have the Burroughs race, and I did it before. So I like to see how I am comparing to back in October. The conditions should be a lot hotter though, because it's been in the 80s and 90s here. October, the weather was really good. Pretty hard, sandy course, but running with the Burroughs is definitely fun. So look forward to that. And then it's got Judgment Day end of May, and I may be going and covering a few ultras here and there in the future. Thank you guys all for the likes, the comments, and the subscribing. And please subscribe if you can. And as always, stay healthy, be boring.